All right, let's big picture this whole Trump making money thing. Donald Trump started like fighting for his life, all these different businesses, past failure stuff. He got himself to a position where he can manipulate the process of any legal action that could possibly come at him for his indiscretions or alleged indiscretions, because he has been sued so many different ways for so many different indiscretions in his life, that he knows where all the appeals will end up. So bringing all that knowledge that he gathered through his life from the 80s and 70s, whatever, from his dad and Roy Cohn and all the other teachers that he's had, he mastered the way of market manipulation, media manipulation, because he literally had his name as a meme before memes were memes. So he got to a position where he can get his way into the office. He had all the people lined up to help him in different states, secretaries of states, in the small elections that all contribute to the process of making somebody a president. Now, if you know the process of everything, and you know the county election people that certify certain elections that are in very, very important steps that are very easily installed in advance. So the person who certifies the election in a county can win an election relatively easily under the radar, keeping their true intentions hidden. So if we think back to the Heritage Foundation and before this election, like years before, like a year before the election, the Heritage Foundation was talking about already having over 100,000 people in place at crucial points to expedite their plan as soon as Trump takes office. And that has been proven, because it's boom, 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 boom. So this has been a plan from the beginning. So when you take it all the way back to the 70s and 80s and how Trump was raised, how to screw everybody over and get away with it, he mastered that art with the backing of people like Vladimir and Little Kim and all these other happy band of assholes, and Benjamin Netanyahu and everything else. And if you look at the big picture of all of these people and how these people operate and what these people want, what does Vladimir Putin want? What does Kim Jong-un want? What does China actually want? All of Trump's moves benefited these people in tons of ways. I don't think Donald Trump is smart enough to recognize the damage side and how bad he's being used side. I think he's blinded by how much money he's going to make off of it. When he got into office and he could announce these tariffs, and he saw that automatically fucked with the stock prices and every other economy in this world, he didn't think about the other economies in the world, because he doesn't care about anyone but himself and his friends, and you know that. And he cares about his friends in a transactional way. So you know damn well Mr. Charles Schwab, that was chucking it up with him and all of his other rich friends, bragging about how much money they made in one fucking day, after obvious market manipulation went on by the president of the fucking United States. This is something that he figured out he can manipulate. Everything that this man has done, if you look at from the big picture, has that element. How to skirt around the different things that prevent him from having to report investments from certain people, report money he gets from anything, or having to have those people who give him money report themselves to, like, the IRS. For instance, those digital trading cards, you can only buy 99 of them for $100 a piece. So if someone buys 99, they want to buy 100 of them, that puts them to $10,000. When you go to $10,000, you have to tell the IRS. It has to be reported. So there's a paper trail. So if you draw the limit at 99 cards, no one can ever create a paper trail of the money they give you. If you own, say, a publicly traded entity. It doesn't matter that the entity itself doesn't have any actual monetary value, and in fact is losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year. People who buy the stocks don't have to report how much they're buying and who's buying them. Easy way to get money. Remember those dinners that he had, that there were all these fake news reports about him having all the heads of all these companies? And if they all donated $1 billion, he would make taxes go away for them, make tariffs go away from them. And then what a coincidence that right now he's actually announcing that he's going to pick and choose not only what countries get the heaviest tariffs and why, but he's going to use his intuition, because he's a bigly genius. He's going to use his intuition to determine specific companies that get excused from tariffs for whatever they need. Now, I don't know what kind of Teslas are built without Chinese parts, but I'm kind of guessing there's a couple of companies we can all put money on that will be excused from tariffs. And the big picture doesn't scream what his purpose actually is. For those who are ignoring all of this, wake the fuck up. But if you look at every single step, it screams his intentions. He's in a room with Mr. Charles Schwab himself and a bunch of other ones. Oh, you made $2.4 billion in one day? Oh, you only made $900 million? Oh, you only made $2 million? Oh, not as good of a day as him. Donnie, how much did you make? How much did your kids make? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the United States of America. People around the world count on our democratic system and our checks and balances to actually keep the balance with our checks. And we're letting the world down. And they can all see it. And they blame us that it's happening. And the ramifications of his actions are disturbing lives worldwide, are wrecking lives worldwide. And whether his followers recognize it or not, it's wrecking their own lives. They'll figure it out someday. We need to stay diligent, stay educated, and continue being kind no matter how hard it gets. Because this world's going to need it. But more than anything, we need to unify. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder, and we need to make sure we recognize that people all over this world are in the same shitstorm we are. And they need to know where our hearts are and that we didn't want this shit. We know it, but they don't. So let them know. Support their lives. Support people all over this world that are struggling because the person in our most powerful office fucked with their lives so he could make his friends money. It's not making America great again. It's making us hated, and deservedly so. But we're going to fight back. And we're going to end this shit before peacefully, armed with kindness, intelligence, and facts. But we need to do it quick. God bless.